Well, here we are, your Takeo After Dark crew. Myself, John Barba, the immortal Dave Holdorf, and the irreplaceable and irrepressible Rick Mayo. How we doing, guys?
Good.
Doing great. Doing awesome out there today.
Thanks.
All righty. Just want to tell you a little bit about what's coming up this week, Wednesday, February 24th. It'll be part 3 of Winter Essentials, Takeo After Dark Winter Essentials. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about another topic that's near and dear to our hearts,
Indeed.
three-speed circulators. Everything you need to know about three-speed circulators. Rick, Dave, what are your thoughts on three-speed circulators?
For me, it was a good answer at a good time when folks were saying, I don't want to do the math. And it gave them a little bit of flexibility. But there's some myths to be dispelled there. And
Mhm.
John's going to get into that. Dave?
And there is still a place for them as long as you understand what that place is. That's the biggest thing. So the other thing we're going to do this week at Takeaway After Dark is we're going to look at the math. All right. Last week we reviewed a bunch of the pump curves, understanding where pump curves come from, system curves. This week we're going to do that math and now make the two marry each other, but then really explore into 3-speed pumps. Everybody right now, when 3 speeds first came out, it was just like, oh, go 3 speeds. It's better than single speeds. Well, now all of a sudden it's like 3 speeds are getting left in the dark, and they're saying go variable speed. That'll be next week's class, the following week that we'll do with Rick.
Right.
So take a look at this coming class. It's going to be a good class. It's going to be a good class.
Exactly. What we're going to do is we're going to go over the math on how to figure out gallons per minute flow rate. That's part 1 of sizing a circulator. And once you have your gallons per minute flow rate, and you know the pipe size and all that other stuff, then you calculate the head loss. So you have your flow and head. Now, how do we apply a circulator to that? And how do 3-speed circulators fit in? It's not the only pump you'll ever need. They were sold that way, and I think that was another fairy tale. They aren't the only pump you'll ever need. They fit a lot of applications, and on paper they might be the only pump you'll ever need. But as we've always liked to tell people, we don't install circulators on paper. We install them in the real world. We connect them to real boilers on real systems that have real dynamics that need to be respected and understood. And that's where we're going to start to implement this 3-speed circulator into the dynamics. In some cases, it works and works beautifully. In other cases, it's really not a very good choice. So we're gonna discuss that in pretty big detail. And then the following week, we're going to start to talk about ECM circulators and how those fit into our world and where they make sense and what they can do and what they can't do for you. And that'll be Rick Mayo does an amazing job on that, and we'll have a couple weeks worth of Rick, and then we'll get back to Dave on our final episode on tips and tricks that your guys are going to help us out with. But this week, 3-speed circulator essentials, Wednesday night, February 24th, 7 p.m. Eastern. You guys do the math to figure out what time it is where you are, but we're looking forward to seeing you then.